And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back, baby. Let's go. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Sport. And today, it is the Barnes and Michael show. Renee and Tony from the background. It is a beautiful day here on April 4th, 2023. Michael, how are you? It's been a long time since you've sat in that seat. Well, I've sat in this seat.
Dude, it is time, baby. We're back, man. It feels good, dude. It feels good to be here with you and the gang. And I'm really excited for this show. I think it's going to be a really good show. I'm just flipping through here. Did this happen last night?
The Yankees win. Is that a serious question? Come on. I mean, I don't know why I just called you. I said Tony. But I'm thinking of him just saying nonsense. But of course, the Yankees won.
No, it's because you're on your phone. You can't fucking
We'll
pay attention,
get to that in a second.
My
But
mic
we
on?
have to start out with Michael. And if you could just switch us to March Madness. And I think it's quite ironic. Last night, a tradition continued on the week of the greatest tradition of them all, the Masters tournament. When we talk about traditions, we talk about 99, 2004, 2011,
yes,
2014,
yes,
and 2023.
Let's go.
It all started with Jim Calhoun, with Rip Hamilton, with Emeka Okafor, with Ben Gordon, with Rashad Anderson, with Shabazz Napier, with Kemba Walker, with DeAndre Daniels, with Hilton Armstrong. I could go on and on and on. And last night, Dan Hurley, Adama Sanogo, Jordan Hawkins all continued that tradition as UConn is on top of the college basketball world for the fifth time in the last 24 years after defeating San Diego State last night, 76-59. Dominating fashion, a game that they led by 12 points at the half. I believe the lead got down to about 5, in the second half of the second half. So the last 10 minutes of the game. But UConn was able to hold off San Diego State, getting Dan Hurley his first title. And just what an impressive run that it was with UConn, winning every game in this tournament by at least 13 points. Really their most dominating NCAA championship we've seen, and really reminding everybody, because it had been a little bit. They had their hiatus to the American Conference, but now being back in the Big East for several years now, they are once again on top of the basketball world, and they have not one but 2 more championships than any other program in the past 24 years. And I think that says all you need to say. I believe they're also the first program to have 3 different head coaches lead them to national titles. Obviously, Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, and last night, Dan Hurley. And we talked about yesterday on the show, on Gaming Corner yesterday. By the way, if anybody didn't catch that, definitely a good one. You want to check that out on our Gaming Corner playlist. But Dan Hurley, coming from a basketball family, his father, the legendary coach at St. Anthony's, his brother, the legendary player at Duke, Coach Buffalo before moving on to Arizona State. Dan, coaching under his father, coaching under his brother, coaching at Wagner, coaching at URI, and then here at UConn, and really just continuing a legacy. And it is just nice, because we talk about all the time, Connecticut lacking, a professional sports team in one of the 4 major sports leagues, but we have dominated college basketball for a long time. And it's nice to continue that tradition. And I think the future is very bright. And most of that, is because of the culture, the facilities, the tradition, the head coach, because I think you're going to lose some players from this team. And looking at, who stood out last night, obviously Adama Sanogo was your Final Four most outstanding player. 17 points, 10 boards last night, 7 of 8 from the line. It just seemed like anytime UConn, this whole tournament needed a big rebound, Sanogo was right there with the box out, making sure he was doing his job. You look at Jordan Hawkins, he had an outstanding year. Last night, 16 points, 2 3-pointers, hit all 4 of his free throws. How about Newton, 19 and 10? Including hitting all of 8 of his free throws. And UConn as a team shot 24 of 27 from the free throw line. So those are the type of things that championship teams do when it matters most. And you really saw that with UConn. And it really had been a long time. I mean, it had been almost 10 years since UConn had been at the top of the basketball world. So I just think this championship is so big, and it just really bridges the gap of previous generations of UConn, all those amazing players. And I think, like I was saying, some of these players will move on to the NBA. Sanogo's interesting, and I really want to bring you here, Michael, on this, because I see this all the time. So Sanogo's a guy, and I was looking at NBADraft.net last night, not even in the top 60. Obviously the draft is only 60 picks. He's 6'9", averaged a double-double this year. I feel like he could come back next season, possibly win another title and contend to win the Naismith Award, or he could possibly get undrafted, be picked in the 50s. I just feel like when you have that opportunity to kind of up your value, you do it versus going to the G League,
100%.
Getting waived, going overseas. I mean, if he has a dominating year next year, I don't see why he can't at least sneak his way into the end of the first round, the middle of the first round. And I just think it doesn't make sense to jump ship right now.
No, I totally agree, Barnes. 100%. With that.
And I know you've seen this too. There's guys who leave early, never amount to anything, but they stayed in college a second year, a third year, all 4 years, that they would have been a top 10 draft pick, a top 20 draft pick, an NBA All-Star, and they never even get there.
I know it's tough. These dudes want to go out, make money quickly.
Right.
Which I understand. And, you always have to factor the window is small, but I agree with you. His situation is he should stay, build his resume more and show, hey, I got a jumper this offseason, for example. That's more
I think that's
huge. KG-esque type of game. I hit the mid-range to start, and expand your range. But you see the importance of rebounding, especially when you dominate rebounding.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and the heart, you just can't teach.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. So that would be my thought there. Jordan Hawkins is an interesting case. A physical guard at 6'5", had a great year for UConn this year. I was looking at the projected draft picks. He's at the end of the first round. He's only 20 years old. Kind of for me, the same thing applies. I mean, I guess, from 27, you can move up to 15 to 16. But I just feel like when you get to that middle to end of the first round, the compensation is so much stronger. If you were to just run it back, and I know injuries are always a concern, but anytime you're fringe first round, I feel like it's very easy to fall into the second round. It's in some cases fall completely undrafted. So that's a guy I would think maybe he'll run it back as well. And that would obviously make UConn favorites to repeat next year.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, it was such a fun tournament. And really one that I feel like we haven't seen before. You think about no number 1 seeds in the Elite Eight. You think about Florida Atlantic, Miami, and San Diego State making the Final Four. San Diego State, making it to the national title game. I think, that's all something that we never thought we would see. So that is something that'll always stick out to me. And like I said, and you think about all the NBA talent that has walked through the doors of Storrs, Connecticut, and the fact that this was the most dominating team. None of those other teams, as far as I'm concerned, had won every game by 13 points. That is a huge margin. That's very tough to do. I mean, you win all your games by 8 points. That's impressive. But to do it by 13, I think that's a whole nother level. And I really have to say one thing that I was dead wrong. I had a lot of questions, even entering this tournament,
know.
and definitely before the season. Dan Hurley, he is a hell of a basketball coach. And you knew it from when you went to go video that practice.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's fire. He's just like, he's rage. He's all rage in practice, but then he's right as soon as practice is done, he's all love.
Oh, yeah.
Like as soon as he blew the whistle to end practice, like he's like a totally different person. So you love that. He's a player's coach, and the thing what coaches lose a lot of times is the respect of the locker room because they don't they'll say one thing and they don't back it up.
Right.
Like bigs have to run end to end, full court, baseline to baseline is a huge thing, right? A lot of bigs don't do that because they're lazy, and coaches still play them, and that shit that's weak. You know, you gotta back it up, and he definitely did, and you saw the players respond. No one thought UConn was winning. So.
No. And I mentioned this, in the intro here. I mean, I really do think what led to UConn returning to prominence is returning to the Big East. That's where they belonged. Had no success in the American, and the Big East is a tougher conference. And I don't know if it's a motivation thing. Obviously, recruiting part of it as well.
The Big East is just where it is. It's where it's supposed to be.
Is where it's at. And if you think about too, last year's retirement of Jay Wright, UConn is now the powerhouse program. Villanova, it won a couple titles over the course of a couple years and was really thought to be the strongest team in the Big East basketball conference. And it's clearly UConn.
It's funny. Every time UConn, I feel like historically no one talks about UConn, and yet here they come year after year consistently since the 90s winning.
Right. And remember they made Rec Room for the Big East, that ESPN documentary, barely touched on UConn at all.
Yeah.
And who's won the most titles like in the past quarter century?
Yeah. It's beautiful. We always talk about how Connecticut, which needs to step it up. I've been saying this. We actually have a vlog coming at the new New York Comedy Club in Stamford. And in that vlog, I basically just say Stamford's the best city in Connecticut, hands down, bar none. It is the perfect interceptor between Boston and New York City. Think about how close you are once you get to Stamford and New York City, but it's just the perfect amount to take that break and rest if you're driving long.
Yep.
And you throw a fucking professional sports team in there at the harbor over there. You're telling me that's not going to just, a lot of people say go to Bridgeport, and I get that over here. But when I go into the city of Stamford, it's nice.
Right.
It's clean. It's got life, dude. That's the difference. There's life.
Right.
The stores are vibrant. Like, people are vibrant. There's a hustle culture there. There's a fun culture there at night, obviously on the weekends, alive at 5 in the summer. The golf. It's just, so I think that needs to happen. But having UConn at least, and Matthew will know, he'll definitely comment. I know it. It's nice to have them dominate.
Oh, yeah.
On both ends.
Yeah.
Like men and women.
Right. And, really just UConn sports, I know they've had a couple of changes at presidents over the past 10 to 15 years, are really all trending upward. The UConn football team was a complete dumpster fire, but former coach Jim Mora, who coached the Falcons and the Seahawks in the NFL, got them to a bowl game last year, which is quite the accomplishment. They were literally the worst team in America. So to do that, I know the baseball team is strong. The coach has been there for 30 years, and John, played under him at UConn. Still talks to him on the regular. And I think it was not this past season, not this season going on now, but the season before, 50 games that they won. You think about what the women's basketball program has done as well. And I'm sure some of the other teams that, we're not that familiar with have done well in addition to that. So it really is remarkable. And it's just, we always talk about in any sport, a lot of times we're talking about it professionally, but just how rare dynasties are. And when you think about all the colleges, all the teams in the NCAA tournament, college basketball is the toughest sport to have a dynasty in.
Yeah. And also you got to think about how impressive it is from UConn, because they don't typically, if ever, get the top recruits.
No, and they're up there, but
they're not the guys. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They're not having a guy who's the number one pick in the draft. I mean,
like they created Ray
Right.
I shouldn't take. Obviously, those dudes did their own thing. Richard Hamilton
Emeka
around.
Okafor, I guess. What was he the second overall pick?
Yes.
Marvin Williams was the first.
Yeah. No. I think Dwight Howard was one.
Emeka
two, and Marvin Williams three, which was ridiculous. That draft.
Yeah. The old college days. But I had to say, I was a little weak regular season, but the conference tournament, this NCAA tournament really got me back to
excited for next place.
So excited.
You're back on the UConn train.
And Dan Hurley, he's 50 years old.
He made it up too.
I mean, he's been the coach 5 years. I mean, he easily could be a 20-plus year coach there. That's the culture. You saw Calhoun in the stands watching these games. It's really remarkable.
That's culture. Like
what they've been able to do.
Calhoun's there.
How about they picked the wrong guy to succeed Calhoun? They still won a title.
I know.
And we're still good.
Because it was Calhoun's recruitment class.
Right.
It's so true. That's just how dominant there's just an aura of basketball that needs to come professionally even here, I think, that'll dominate.
Yeah.
Dude, the background looks fake with you over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was looking at it. I'm like, it doesn't look real.
And you know what's remarkable too? One other thing I just wanted to mention. UConn, every time they win the tournament, it seems like recently anyway. So I'm just going through the history book. So in 99, they were a 3 seed. In 2004, they were a 7 seed. In 2010, they were a 9 seed. And in 2014, they were a 7 seed.
Wow. How impressive is that?
No top seeds, and just get the job done. They're a tournament team. And how about this year too? They did not lose a non-conference game. And historically, that's what they've done. You think about the Shabazz teams, the Kemba teams.
Shabazz.
Great to start the year. They would win the preseason tournament, the Maui or whatever.
Yeah.
Big East play, a little spotty.
Yeah.
And then conference tournament time, NCAA tournament time.
Dominate. And that's UConn basketball.
Yeah, rich tradition. So just so amped up for that. And congratulations again to Dan Hurley, to UConn basketball, to most outstanding player of the Final Four, Adama Sanogo. Congratulations.
You like him.
Yeah, he's an animal. Like I said, I know what's best, Michael, for his basketball career. And I just know if he leaves this year, he's never going to play in the NBA. He's going to be overseas. He's going to be G League.
Yeah.
But if he wins player of the year, leads into a title, and really gets very strong at 3-point shooting, that takes his game to the next level.
I know.
So I hope he does that. And of course, we'll keep you posted with all of the Huskies, draft decisions and whatnot. But a great night there in Houston, Texas. And how unbelievable, too, is it that of their 5 championships, 4 they have been in the West region, and 4 the Final Four has been played in Texas. Kind of interesting how that works out. But that being said, Michael, that closes our college basketball season. Like I said, we'll talk about draft decisions when they come up. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game! Out of sight!
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes! See ya!
Could you actually expand upon that, Michael?
Well, because he cut highlights at MLB Network.
Oh,
he
okay.
edited
But
a lot of
I mean,
stuff
come on,
there.
Tony. Did we ever really think that you didn't have it?
No, but it's just funny. Like
You tell me, Brian.
No, you've always done an outstanding job.
15 arrests and 16 hospitalization in stores. Jay Bird 047 and coming in hot with the comment.
Wow. This goes along
The
with
kids were getting rowdy.
But this
last
goes
night, he
along
says.
with
You like that, Jay? You like the rowdiness,
the fan
bud.
on the field. What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, you could enjoy a championship. You don't need to go to the hospital, and you certainly don't need to get arrested. And I think too, Tony, this might go against, you and Jay were saying that nobody's drinking anymore. I mean, I think, with those numbers, some people are drinking.
Brian, what would you be doing if you were at, I
was there and there wasn't any hospitalizations or
Barnes, if
arrests.
Eastern had won the national championship, hypothetically.
I mean, UConn did. We went to UConn.
Yeah.
We watched the games at UConn. You just enjoy it. You don't need to go crazy, dude. Like it really pisses me off though. I'm not kidding. Cause it's like you have that opportunity. You're fortunate enough to be part of UConn when they win something special like this, and you're gonna ruin it. What's wrong with you?
No morals.
I really, that stuff really irritates me. But that being said, we are talking baseball now. And Jay, thanks for that information. Yankees yesterday, a dominant home win. What else is new? 8-1 over the Philadelphia Phillies, and setting the tone.
Yankees
Michael's
win.
guy, my guy, Tony's guy, all Yankee fans' guy, Nestor Cortez, making his season debut. And like he did many, many times last year, answering the call, 5 innings, 7 hits.
The water jugs are full, Tony.
1 run, 3 strikeouts, threw 80 pitches, handed the ball off to Ian Hamilton, who actually made his Yankee debut, who threw an inning and 2/3 scoreless ball. Loaizaga an inning and a third scoreless, and then Clay Holmes rebounding from a spotty outing over the weekend for an inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. At the end of the day, an 8-1 Yankee victory, and obviously, you win a game 8-1. Your offense is going, and one refreshing
All-time classic, Tony.
One refreshing sign at the top of the lineup, and we know Michael's always been riled for him. DJ LeMahieu. Healthy after struggling the last few years. 2 for 5 yesterday.
Let's go.
Setting the tone. Top of the lineup.
You need him.
Exactly. So
you're not winning without him. Honestly,
he had a great game last night, and then also Gleyber Torres.
Tony knows what I'm talking about.
There's been a fire lit under Gleyber Torres.
Oh my God, the trade
rumors.
5 for 5 last night.
He did, what he could last year to rebound after a couple tough seasons. He goes 2 for 2 last night. With 2 RBIs and hits his 2nd home run of the season. Michael's favorite player, Anthony Rizzo. 1 for 4, 2-run homer. Heard the John Sterling call in the car on the way back from the gaming quarter last night. Jose Trevino, a guy that I have always been a big fan of, the energy, what he does behind the plate, leadership, very important for this Yankee team. 2 hits last night. Aaron Hicks got his first action of the season as a starter, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I think that's all we need to see from him. Frenchie Cordero, who came over after being released from Baltimore. Kind of odd that they decided to go with him instead of designating for assignment Estevan Florial. He had his first hit as a Yankee, a 2-run double. But I just read up and down the lineup, everybody producing. Stanton narrowly missed another home run, went to the wall. Sterling had one of his deep to left, and he catches it at the wall. But we've heard those before. What are you gonna do? But at the end of the day, a win like this, just really energizes me and energizes the Yankees themselves and the whole fan base. This is how you want to start a season. And it's kind of interesting too, something different. I don't, we could go back to the archives on this one, but I don't know if they've ever started with 2 National League teams, back-to-back series, and to go 3-1, to make the Phillies, who were one of the teams thought of to be contending for a World Series title this year. And I know, of course, they're missing Bryce Harper right now, but to send them to 0-4, and a longtime Yankee coach, Robbie Thompson, at the helm over there. I thought it was, impressive. And what they did is kind of what I expected in terms of jumping over to Juan Walker early. His final line was 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and that home run allowed to Gleyber Torres. But all in all, it's just a very exciting time to be a Yankee fan. And the injury front, things are improving there. There's still a lack of clarity on when exactly Luis Severino will be back. I know Rodon has just started to throw again, so they're very optimistic that he is going to be back before the end of this month, which is obviously a huge boost to the rotation. But, they obviously have guys in place that are capable. I mean, we saw what Brito did the other day. Herman will get the ball tonight. We've seen Cortez and Cole, of course, really have strong performances to start the season. So you think about reinforcements coming back. Tommy Canley will be a welcomed addition to this bullpen as well. And then I think there are going to be some moves to be made sooner rather than later. Obviously the three guys that come to mind are Donaldson, Hicks, and IKF. And especially just the way that Aaron Hicks is talking, you would imagine that he would be the first guy to be jettisoned out the door, just because there's no place in a strong Yankee locker room for an attitude like that. And you're talking about you don't know what your role is. I mean, how many times do we need to see you fail at the highest level? It's been consistently for the past 3 years, and I think I speak for all Yankee fans. We're all just sick of it. We don't want to see it anymore. And at the end of the day, as far as the Yankees are concerned, there's no time for bums like Aaron Hicks. And I know, they don't want to pay him to do nothing, but he's hurting the team more than helping the team. And I think that's why, we'll see him off the team sooner rather than later. And I'm just kind of curious, Michael, and I'm sure you've seen this, with basketball over the years and stuff, disgruntled player. But have you ever seen somebody like disgruntled, complaining about roles that was performing worse than Aaron Hicks is? I mean, the only guy I can think of is maybe Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is a good one. Trying to think of an old NBA player who was like acting crazy.
I mean, AI got a little heated in remember Memphis. He played 3 games and everything. And then I think there was a little struggle there in Philadelphia the last season of his career as well. But I just don't get how you could say that stuff with a straight face. I mean, do you think it's on purpose and he just wants his outright release?
Yeah.
Get his money, team will sign him for the minimum, and then he'll get another opportunity. But that's a situation we'll have to monitor. And then also Harrison Bader getting some drills in as well. And that's a guy that you were a fan of him last year, right? Postseason, hit a couple dingers, right? I mean, energy guy, good fielder. He's expected to be back before the end of the month as well. So, when he's back, you can, kind of play around with the outfield a little bit. Stanton obviously has got his majority of his starts in the field to start this season. I don't know if they'll put him back at DH and just go with Bader in center. And then, Judge in right and Cabrera in left, or obviously you could put Judge in left and Stanton in right, and then have Cabrera be a utility player. But it is nice that they have so many options. Wherever you look, you feel like there's, you just have a strong option. And I really do think there's just such positive energy. And I know it's very early on in the season, but there's so much positive energy with this team. And I just think, Volpe running, and I think also just a focus in general on stealing bases, taking the extra bag, taking what the other team gives you. I think they're really putting an emphasis on that. And I'm just so excited to watch this season. And obviously, like I said, they will continue on tonight against the Phillies. And, you're going to get Domingo Germán making his season debut. This is actually a TBS game. I forgot that they do some Tuesday night games. So we're going to have former Padre Matt Stram on the mound versus Domingo Germán. I guess he's pitched an inning out of the pen so far this season. So, I don't know if this is an opener situation. I'll have to look more into it. But when you look at this game, I mean, you feel just as good as you felt yesterday. And I know Germán, at times can be shaky with his performance. Sometimes he can look like one of the better pitchers in baseball. Other times, I mean, it's like he can't get one out and he's just getting absolutely lit up. I would expect him to fall somewhere in between tonight. So I'll easily take from Germán 6 innings, 3 earned, 7 strikeouts, keep the team in the game, because I think the Yankees will get on the board early. I wouldn't be surprised if Stanton hit another home run. He was close yesterday. Volpe's due to have a couple hits as well. So I think, by the time the fourth inning is over, I could see the Yankees, being up 5-2 or something, along those lines. Bullpen, carrying them the rest of the way. And at the end of the day, I'm forecasting here 8-3 over the Phillies tonight to take 4 of their first 5 games of the season. And I wouldn't be surprised too if Judge potentially ran into one as well. So I'm really looking forward to watching this one. And like I said, that'll get underway 7:05 on TBS. It'll be interesting to see if Bob Costas, makes his return to the booth. We saw him obviously do the Yankees division series last year. So it'll be interesting to see if, he's a part of the broadcasting crew once again. What's nice too? A lot of teams complain about Sunday Night Baseball. The Yankees have been on the wrong end of it for a while, where they play their Sunday Night Baseball game and then they got to travel, fly across country. Looking at the schedule, they don't have an ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game till June 4th. So I think that's a big advantage. Just to not have to deal with that tough travel situation. You got an Apple TV game coming up on Friday the 21st. They only have 2 of those this year. I know there was a lot of complaints about that last year, but other than that, just looking upcoming schedule, they get tonight and tomorrow against Philadelphia at home, and then they hit the road for 2 road series. You got one in Baltimore, which is a place, obviously they've always played well. And then they head to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. And they don't have an off day till Monday, April 17th. So they're going to be playing, a lot of games in a row, and I'm sure they'll do their typical Scranton shuttle, getting those fresh relievers up, and obviously reinforcements, are on the way as well. But just a really exciting time to be a part of the New York Yankees. And like I said, I can't wait to watch the game later. And actually tomorrow, I'm just looking too. Kind of interesting, a Wednesday day game. I always think those day games midweek are interesting. I mean, how are you going to get there? But I guess you have, retired people in the city, obviously people taking the day off. But we're going to get 2 of the best pitchers in the major leagues, Garrett Cole versus Aaron Nola. So that'll be 1:05 tomorrow. So that should be another exciting game to watch. But that's really, what I have on the Yankees here. Michael, would you say, as the time has gone on, and obviously I've given you all I can on the Yankees day in, day out, do you feel like your excitement level grows by the day? How would you describe it?
Every day I grow closer and closer to imagining us at the parade for the World Series champion New York Yankees 2023.
I mean, would the vlog not go viral, Michael?
That's an understatement. We are manifesting you throwing a beer to Judge with a DTV shirt attached to it for him to then wear and be like,
yep. And then I
and point to you and be like, come up here. You're my best friend now.
And I could say me and Mark, I was still at my parents' house at the time, came up 2016 in their first career at bats, back to back, Aaron Judge and Tyler Austin going deep. It was a Saturday afternoon game. And I'll just never forget that. And ever since then, I was just so impressed at just what a player Aaron Judge is. And I've always believed in him since day one. Jay Bird talking about they will make it to the day games. He's right. I mean, a Yankee day game, even against a weak opponent midweek, I mean, they're still going to get 30,000 fans there. So that's very impressive. And I think we'll see a big crowd tonight. I think there was the smallest crowd, quote unquote, was 37,000 last night. I think the temperatures are a tad bit warmer today. I think late afternoon, we're going to be 67. So probably by the time it's first pitch, it'll be high 50s, which is pretty good for this time of year. So I'd expect, a rather large crowd there. at Yankee Stadium. Anything else, Michael, with this? You said envisioning, me tossing the beer to Judge. Any other visions you've had about this championship celebration?
I envision Matt getting hammered.
Yeah.
Like you know what I see? I see you and Matt, and you guys are at Eastern again, almost vibes.
Oh yeah.
For this one.
100%.
Right? Like that's the energy we're feeling for this?
Yeah. Yeah. And he was talking about it when he was over the other day after the game. And he's like, every time, since I met you at Easter, I always envisioned, coming, back for the new year and that fall, celebrating a championship. And I think obviously that's something that, we've thought about for a while. And it does, it's obviously taken a long time and a lot longer than we've liked. But I think the Yankees, starting with this offseason and committing to Judge and making him the captain, I really think they're doing everything in their power to return to that team. And it's funny. You remember how I was saying when the captain came out, how it was like too upsetting to watch because I just want it right now.
Yeah.
So I finally, the Yankees, good start to the season. I'm like, all right, so we watched it actually on Sunday. I watched a couple episodes.
Got you hyped.
A-Rod talking to so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just trying to justify what he said about Jeter. But yeah, I actually am enjoying it now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it really is just unbelievable. And I don't know if we'll ever see that type of dominance again, where you win 4 and 5 years, and then you're going for your 5th and 6th years, your 4th in a row, and you're down to game 7. You're down to the last out of the 9th inning. I mean,
it was ridiculous.
It's so hard to win 2 in a row, let alone to have a chance at 4,
5, 6. It's crazy.
And the culture of that team, and I think that's what we're building.
That's what set the tone.
Tino, O'Neill,
love those guys.
Grocious, Posada. I mean, everybody just tough as nails, and obviously Jeter,
so mentally strong too.
And I think
Cone
Judge is setting that tone. Yeah, we talked about Cone though. We're a little tight on Cone, and I think just because of his end of his time with the Yankees, and they don't hire him to be the pitching coach, I think he's kind of taking that the wrong way. But yeah, obviously, I'm pumped up.
Tony.
Messina, dude. I know you like Messina.
Hey, I mean, I just think, I never thought of him as a Hall of Famer. He was solid, but not spectacular. But while your mic's on, Tony, I mean, could you give me just something about what happened yesterday? Cookie, 10-0.
They lost 10-0.
Yeah. I told you that already, dude.
Was it just? I didn't even look at the box score. I mean, was it just right away? The Brewers pounced, or how did it?
It was like gradual, like 3rd, 4th, 5th inning. Bullpen didn't do well either. Just pitching. There was nothing good there, really. Cookie, I think maybe he threw 80 pitches, honestly. All over the place, dude. Like no control, very hittable. And then obviously, total lack of offense because of it. I mean, we've seen it last season too, where it's just like, the Mets, like, you see how well they can do. And then it's just like, they start our first inning and they give up like a couple of runs. And it's just like totally demoralizing the whole team. Like you just see like the panic set in on some of these guys in the lineup. And it's like, I got to hit this ball like as hard and as fast as I could. I got to get a home run now, like, I think it's just a matter as a team to just kind of like just calm down a little bit, like and especially at this point, I mean they've played a lot together now. They I would imagine they know what to expect out of Carrasco. So I don't know, dude. You kind of would expect maybe a better reaction out of them at this point, but it's still early in the season. So
does that reaction come at 7:40 Eastern?
It fucking better. It better, Brian, because they have to show something. I mean, you can't just get blown out 10-0 and not, you gotta show up, dude.
I mean, they got the clear advantage in the pitching matchup. Max Scherzer versus Wade Miley. Obviously, Scherzer a little spotty in his first start. Obviously, got the win though. The 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts.
Right.
Do you think? I mean, are you confident though that himself that he's gonna build upon that and give him at least 6 again?
Oh yeah, he's coming for blood tonight, dude. I mean, he's always so angry when he gives up any amount of runs. So I would imagine the focus, dial it in, and for a lineup like what he's facing against, to a lineup that looked so good yesterday, I feel like Scherzer's going to be even more so like motivated to just make them look foolish. So
Yeah.
hopefully he stays away from that high fastball that was killing him and
Right.
stick to that slider.
Yeah,
That's
there's no chance to hit a slider in the dirt.
I know.
So
And he's got great movement on it too. Like it's a tough pitch to go
right.
against. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I always thought the slider was a good tight slider. I
Yeah.
think is the toughest pitch to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well
dude.
located. And one guy who was actually the star of the show yesterday, and I think is an underrated pickup for the Brewers, Brian Anderson. He went deep yesterday. I think he had 3 RBIs. And the last, I guess, 2 years, he's really struggled. But if you go back to 2019, he was a 20 home run guy, and had an OPS of 811. The last year, 657, 715. That could be a nice addition. It'll be interesting to see if he can be a catalyst. And will we ever get some type of version of Christian Yelich, returning to form a little early on? Getting a little nervous about my comeback player of the year prediction. Syndergaard had a great start. We never talked about it.
Oh, you
6
love you
innings,
too,
6
Matthew.
Ks, no earns. Dodger blue. I think it just looks so well on him.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, dude. Who do you pitch against?
Probably the Diamondbacks, I want to say. Are you kidding with the
The Diamondbacks.
I mean, you really would be that shocked, Tony. 200 Ks, 15 wins.
Yeah, I would.
But Christian Yelich, so far we got 3 for 15, 1 double. So we'll see if he can get it going.
Probably not.
He could.
How about this Brewers team? I mean, they've played 4 games. They have 2 homers, and 3 doubles. So a little light offensively.
Yeah.
Um,
Who's there?
Willie
damn.
Adames?
No. Nick Henderson, maybe?
He's a hitter.
Yeah.
Willie Adames, Tellez, Yelich, Mitchell, Contreras, Winker. Yeah, I don't see. They just get Luke Voigt too. Wait, who are you? Henderson? You're thinking of Henderson on the Orioles, the shortstop, the prospect?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
He
thought
homered.
he was on twice, I think, so far.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Uh,
Luke Voigt, dude.
I swear to God, like if the Mets were smart, they would have picked him up. Honestly, I really think Luke Voigt, if he stays healthy, you just DH him. I mean, he can run into 25 to 30 easily.
Did he make the Brewers? He's on the Brewers. He made the roster.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot what team he got. I don't know if it was Washington or a different team, but he didn't make one roster. And then the Brewers signed him to a minor league deal and elevated him to the opening day roster.
That's crazy.
So interesting stuff for sure. But just such an exciting time of year, baseball getting started. And I know you guys are pumped up. And Michael, I'm going to need a solid prediction from you. Ricky's not in the field, so don't even try it, for our Masters preview show tomorrow.
Don't even try it.
You got to do some homework tonight.
Is Tiger in it?
Of course, Tiger's in it.
Tiger.
Jumping the gun, dude.
Never.
And the par 3 will be tomorrow. Par 3 contest was always fun. The former champs and and then the Live guys too have had some press conferences that have been interesting. They've been interviewing DJ, so it's fun. Them.
Did you watch
Cam
the Live
Smith.
tournament this past weekend?
I caught a little bit of it. Yeah.
How's the coverage?
The coverage is fine. But it's kind of funny, and I've told you guys this for a while. I always said that I thought of it because he was talking golf, but Tiki Barber, he knows football, but he just doesn't know anything else. Listen to how asinine this is, Tony, last night. So he goes and he's talking about like the Live golfers, and he's talking about Brooks Koepka, and Brooks Koepka just won a Live event, over the weekend. So this is literally the day after, and Tiki goes, yeah, I mean, Koepka, I mean, he's not going to compete. I mean, clearly he's completely disengaged, like completely removed. Yeah, his heads are in the clouds. He has no shot, and he literally won a tournament the day before.
Oh my God.
It's like easy, Teak, Don't you hate though? It's kind of like Stephen A. But I'm just saying when
No, I agree. It
former
is like
athletes
Stephen A.
try to
I
go
hate
into
it.
other sports,
Yeah.
you don't know it. I think the guy who does the best job, honestly, is Rick DiPietro.
I was just gonna say that, dude.
Right?
He really does.
Yeah, he knows what
Yeah.
he's talking about.
He's a sports guy. That's why.
Yeah.
He's not like
Yeah, he likes sports.
So I just thought,
Tony, this is our show. Like, can you
listen,
butt out?
listen.
You talked your Match for a segment.
Brian is bringing me in.
No,
okay,
no.
dude, because you're over there snoozing at the
I'm
wheel,
not
buddy.
snoozing. I'm just
Yeah,
not
man.
talking Mets.
no, but that's actually
Get
really
outta here.
all I had on baseball. But actually,
Uh,
I'm gonna put this on you, Michael.
Oh.
Do you want to go LeBron first or pickleball? You're pick your
Oh, this is
poison.
ridiculous.
We could do LeBron. Let's do LeBron.
LeBron? All right, let's go to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
Speaking of LeBron, have you seen the Lakers' hot streak recently, Michael?
Are they 10th or 11th?
No. They are 7th.
They're 7th now.
And actually, they are a half game back of 5th. A half game behind the Warriors and the Clippers, who are tied with the same record. So trending in the right direction. Chokri was texting me yesterday. He thinks that they're playing so well that there's a chance that they could hoist the Larry O'Brien.
What is he watching? Nick Wright? You guys are fucking Nick Wright.
No. I mean, I see it. I mean, obviously,
they're
LeBron
not going
and
to
AD
hoist it, dude.
have won a title
AD's
before.
going to get hurt.
And I think though they like. Listen, I know it's about chemistry and cohesiveness and all that, but this team has more talent on it than that team that won the title back in 2020. D'Angelo Russell.
He's
Jared
the reason why they're
Vanderbilt.
playing better. Is Russell?
Yeah, Russell. Yeah, and then AD actually has been going off.
He has,
recently.
but it's because of Russell.
Yeah,
Like people don't understand.
right.
It's because of Russell. Like because defenders have to play Russell,
Mm-hmm.
D'Angelo, different than Russell Westbrook, and which Russell Westbrook's playing well in L.A. Clippers.
I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's doing well. They just can't. Certain players can't play together. Basically.
Oh yeah. No, you're Hachimura had a big game last time.
Yeah,
out,
he was
too.
a good pickup too.
Austin Reeves really could make an all-star team. I'm not kidding. That guy, the energy, Michael. Tell me the energy and the dedication. I know you know it. So
No,
don't try to deny
I
it.
know. I do. I just I've seen things about him which has just weirded me out, but I do like him as a player.
Yeah. And this year, 38% from 3-point range. How ridiculous is too. And I know he's gonna end up playing like mid-50s in games, but LeBron's streak of 25, I think it's 6 and 6. It might be 5 and 5, but let's just call it 5 and 5. I mean, we're at I think 17, 18 years in a row of that.
It's ridiculous.
At least 25 points a game. I mean, it's so hard to average that.
Oh, I mean, no one else has.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess what I really wanted to get to, Michael, I just really, just we're not gonna go on forever about this, but just a little bit here. At the end of the day, well, first of all, I guess what I would say is, where do you see him on like the Mount Rushmore, the top 5, the
Top 3.
10?
Yeah,
Top
he's second
3.
or 1. It's either him or Jordan.
Okay, him or Jordan.
And people don't care or whatever, but I guess anymore. But he still has 4 rings. He needs to get a couple more, like to surpass
Mm-hmm.
the. And I know you're gonna say, oh, if it's about championships, he's got all the accolades. It isn't. I mean, you look at just the body of work in certain times. He's this with the Mavericks, going to join the Heat in the beginning. First of all, the decision, all the stuff. And for me, dude, it's a Chinese thing. Like he's he's paid out by China. Oh my God. Tony, I did
You're
it.
getting like Tony.
I know.
Folks, I think it's just because he was talking nonsense. That's why
No,
the
it's
camera
not.
having the timeout.
No, it's not nonsense.
Well,
he's bought out by China.
But who
Like, go
isn't?
look it up.
Who isn't though?
What do you mean who isn't? A
I'm
lot of people
asking
are.
you, though.
A lot of people
A
are.
big time player who isn't. Please give me somebody.
That's not okay though. That's not like an
But
excuse.
it's not okay. But I'm saying it applies to everybody. The whole league. There is no league
the
without
NBA
that.
And
The
that's why.
commissioner's in bed. That's it.
And so is LeBron, the number 1 guy. It's true,
But
dude.
I'm
You
saying-
can't deny it.
But it's the league as a whole. You can't single him out individually.
I can.
Why?
Do you want me to pull up? Oh my God, I did it again. Tony, I see what you're talking about here. It's the cord.
You gotta stop banging the table, dude.
It's LeBron. He's getting me all tight.
Oh, my God.
Dude, he's a great player. I like how he plays basketball. Okay. And
Right.
don't get it twisted. He's a great basketball player, but I cannot like the man.
All right, but even
that's allowed.
okay, but
he's a Chinese.
but even that aside, though,
bought-out
you're
loser.
talking about
Like he's a loser.
You're talking
He's a
about
sellout.
you're talking about Dallas and stuff, and I just feel like it's like, in a way, like over the years, he's been punished for making more finals than anybody else. And I've said this a million times. But I'm asking, like, would he have been better off, like Michael Jordan did many times, losing in the first round, losing in the second round? Is he better off doing that?
I don't know.
I just think he needs to get more. I don't know, though. Like, it's like
it's hard to say, though.
But everybody, when you put on basketball shoes, when you head out to the basketball court, your goal is to win a championship, and you're going to do everything you can possible. So just because we're talking about a finals win and loss record, you can't give guys credit for not making.
Yeah, but how is he the greatest ever?
You can't get
how is he the greatest ever if he hasn't won more than 4 rings, dude?
But
that's weak.
But there's guys that have won more titles than Michael Jordan. They're not the greatest ever, so it's not all about that.
Yeah, but Jordan has changed the game. If without Jordan, there's no LeBron. First of all, without Jordan, there's no LeBron. He emulated his whole game off of him. It's bullshit. The whole Magic Johnson's my favorite. No, he wasn't. That's bullshit, and everybody knows it. He's just, dude. I don't like him as a person. He's a great player. I love how he plays the game of basketball, but as a person, he's a rat. That's what he is. And you could be mad because you like him so much as a basketball player, but
it also doesn't have to do with, like, I wasn't asking about the person, Michael, though. That's
I thought you were gonna ask me about, like, what I feel about him.
Jordan's a prick.
Of course, dude. Kobe's my guy. I like Kobe.
No, and I understand that. And obviously,
I would argue Kobe could have been the GOAT if Shaq didn't.
But Kobe too. I mean, listen. Obviously, I think after he after he retired and grew close with his daughter and stuff, it kind of seemed like he changed as a person. But I mean, there was a while there where, he was having a lot of issues with teammates and rubbing people the wrong way. And he changed too. So I don't know if that's just part of being at the pinnacle of basketball, where you just have to be tough on everybody. Not everybody's going to like you. I don't know if that's just a commonplace,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because some of those, it's funny. I saw J. Cole actually talking about it today, and he said, for example, if you want to be something, you have to envision it, but don't just envision. And he was talking about basketball. If you want to be a basketball player, you want to get to the NBA.
Right.
He's like, what kind of NBA player do you want to be? There's NBA players that just rode the bench their whole careers, literally didn't touch the floor, and then they're out of the league. Right. Or do you want to be LeBron?
Right.
He said. So like, there's different levels to it, dude. There really is. And I don't know. I guess you just can't compare eras. He's the GOAT of this era. Why can't we just say that? Kobe's the 2000, because you're saying there's a lot of hate on him or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm saying, but I'm talking hate, Michael. Nothing to do with personal. I'm just talking about just play, accomplishments. There's a lot of hate there, and I think that is one of the most ridiculous
people are probably just
things.
Jealous of him then.
But it's so ridiculous.
That's what it is then. They're just jealous of
and I don't
him.
think that we've seen anybody have a more balanced all-around game.
Yeah.
With the court vision.
Of course.
Unbelievable. Literally, you could say he's one of the best passers of all time. And then we always say, he's not a pure scorer, but he's the leading scorer in NBA history. So I just think people kind of just overlook that, and he shouldn't be getting the tough time that he is. And I think people too don't realize that, once he retires, like, they're going to miss his presence in the game, whether they hated him or they loved him.
Just like, all of them. I know. And that's why I'm trying to just enjoy what he has left for the game. I really am enjoying what he has left. It's just suck. I hate the product. Even Pat Bet David talks about Jordan's, he's selling the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time to sell a team in the NBA because the product sucks in the NBA. The product sucks.
Though?
Obviously everything's savable, dude.
But
I believe that.
Does it start with a commissioner? How does it
dude,
start? Who starts it though? What is it?
It has to be the commish. It has to be, but I just feel like they're all in cahoots kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
They just want money and they don't care about the product. Like, so
it's just annoying though, and not to interrupt, but I'm saying, like, they could fix it and still do whatever they're doing with China, but just fix what they're doing actually on the court. And it's like such a lazy take for them not to do anything about that.
The scoring, like, dude, like, so think about the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years with all the sports, speed up the game, baseball, football, this, there's too many timeouts, whatever, blah, blah. Basketball, there's not enough scoring was the thing forever. So Now you're seeing these 150-point games. Dudes are shooting 3-pointers. It's a show. It's more of a show.
So now is the analytics side of the 3-pointer, is that all BS? And is it more of just for the show?
I think it is.
Because you could say, oh, you get more points, you can catch up. But if you're shooting 15%, that's not going to equate to if you shot 50% of your 2-point shots.
Or even like 70%.
Right.
What if you just dominate? Remember this, dude? I always just think about the Spurs
Robinson,
in 2014.
Duncan.
No, even
with
the Miami.
Yeah.
Dude, when they came back and beat the Heat in that second year, they were just on a mission that whole year. It is what it is. But the way they played that postseason, and you could just see it, that was passing up a good shot for a better shot basketball. And no need for the 3 type of stuff. But if it's there, take it. If it's wide open, dude, not fucking 45-footer contested off the dribble, back step it. You know, it's like, okay, cool. You're going to make that once in a while. You're an NBA player.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's just, I don't know. It's lame. I hope the playoffs are good.
No, that's what I was actually going to say. So let's say we get Embiid Jokic. Like, do you think that would be a compelling final that you'd be into?
Yeah.
So we need, though, 2 top 5 guys like on each side going at it. Like, that's what makes
we need guys like Embiid making the finals.
Giannis.
Yeah, and Giannis, honestly. We need guys like that who don't care about anything other than, winning and doing what they can for their team. That's all you could ask for, I guess.
But I have a suspicion, though, if you had to pick one that you'd like to see winning the title, you're going to go Embiid over Giannis, or is it tied?
It's tied. I want Giannis to get one for him to like not have a bubble type of win thing, but I want Embiid to win one because he's been through so much.
Yeah,
like those first 4 years, other guys would have quit.
But that's the epitome of what we're talking about with work ethic, trying, not
giving up.
He missed a lot of games, but he missed them because he had to, not because he didn't want to play.
100%.
And I don't know. I do think too. I mean, the owners are the ones with all this money. They pay the
That's
players.
What I'm saying.
Why can't they just stand up and say, "Listen,
because I'm
going to cut your ass."
They just are lame. They're all lame in there right now. We'll see though. We'll see. What's his name? Earman. Can't think of his name.
Silver?
Silverman.
Silver.
Silver. Adam Silver. Silverman. He said they're going to talk about
load management.
Yeah, and how players will get fined or this and that for just taking. But it's such a weird line.
No, but I some of these guys, the attitude just really bothers me.
I know.
It really does, because no other sport is like that. Everybody wants to play football, hockey, even, college basketball, baseball. You know what I mean? No one is just like, like I want 50 mil, but I want to play half the season. Nobody says that.
Yeah.
How do you consider yourself an athlete?
I know.
How do you have a heart? Honestly,
I know.
I don't know. I'll just never understand that. And
what's up with the pickleball? I don't understand this, dude.
Oh, Michael.
Like who what started this?
What started it in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, we've had things over, like badminton, I feel like was big for a little bit, but yeah, I guess it's just one of those things. Oh, like, they started putting on ESPN pickleball matches and stuff. So I guess exposure, marketing, I'm sure is a big thing. And I think in the Stanford Mall, they're putting in all these pickleball courts. And listen, I don't want to, obviously I'm a sports guy, Michael. I love sports, but just for me personally, I just feel like in this world, with all the good options we have for sports, playing, watching, there's no time for pickleball, Michael. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I could name 5 things I would rather do than play pickleball. There's just by the time you get there, I mean, it's time to go to bed. But just think about it.
Terrible take.
You want to go to the golf course. You want to watch a baseball game. You want to play basketball. You want to play softball. You want to take BP with baseball. You want to play catch with football. Where's the space for pickleball?
Jay says I played pickleball in middle school. Things got heated.
Yeah, have you ever played before?
No, and I will never. And if there was a bill that I could vote on to abolish it from the face of the earth, I would.
That's ridiculous. Why?
It's a waste of time.
Why?
It's gonna fade away. I know it. I've seen it. I've seen all these gimmicks. Okay.
I played it in middle school.
It's fun.
But explain to me.
Like tennis.
But where's the opening? You know what I mean? I feel like right now we don't have enough time for softball, for basketball, to play catch football, play catch baseball. So where does the pickleball fit in, Michael? Please tell me.
It doesn't.
What do you mean? Just make time for it, dude. First of all, why are you mentioning softball? You playing softball, Brian?
I mean, I would if there was an opportunity, and we could always just have batting practice one time.
I
mean,
think we should. Sure. ESPN is so desperate nowadays, Jay says, and then he says Barnes would be really good.
I don't think Barnes would be good because he'd be tight to be playing.
Because I guess it's like I want to get in as much Yankee games and golf as possible. So it's just pickleball. It's a losing option, and I just know it's a fad, and it's like people now all of a sudden you want to act like pickleball is so important, so sick. You want to do it every second. And it's like,
who said this?
You're gonna spend all this money on equipment, and then
where all this money on equipment? All you need is a paddle and a ball.
Have you seen how much these paddles are, Tony?
No.
Renee, knowing it, that's what I love to see right there.
Shutting Tony down.
But
I want to say something.
Yeah.
My parents, they went like last summer on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
They went to go play pickleball on like the courts on LBI, and they just got like the generic little like paddles. Like I think they're like $25, not even like the paddles. And they got there and they basically got like laughed at for like, you can't play on these courts if you have those types of things. Like those aren't real paddle pickleball things. So there's official balls. There's official paddles. My parents end up getting the official paddles because they're like, we got laughed off the courts. And you need certain compression socks for them.
Oh, God. Shut the fudge up.
Go play croquet.
They have a whole line of stuff for pickleball.
Yeah, see, that sounds like some Connecticut ridiculousness.
It wasn't in Connecticut, first of all.
No, probably Connecticut people.
No, it was Jersey vacation.
No, stop it. It's okay.
They're Jersey people.
But it's ridiculous because you can play that sport with really anything. It's totally outrageous. And I have before. I've done tournaments in Pennsylvania with my uncle. Like, it's fun as hell. You work doubles, you get mixed doubles and stuff like that. Like, it really is like a great time. It's a good sport. And like, if you want to play competitive, you can play competitive. If you want to drink while you're playing, you can drink while you're playing. Like, it's a great time, dude.
You done? No, just kidding, Tony. Hey, everybody has your opinions, but I'm
Brian,
just letting
table tennis, ping pong.
I'm just letting you know.
Are you a ping pong guy?
It is not ping. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, but I
what
don't
about
know.
Regular tennis? You like regular tennis?
No,
dude,
it's too annoying, honestly.
Jokic, Djokovic.
Oh my God, but I don't know. I mean, let's revisit this in a little bit, but I know everybody's it's growing, and
did McEnroe have the rant about it?
I tagged you guys. There was an article. Michael, just go to you for a second. We want to see what you're munching on over there.
So I'm having some clementines over here.
Oh, nice, dude. Dude, I went to Stop and Shop. When was it? Sunday?
Yeah.
I was gonna get some clementines. Fucking moldy and like nasty ass fucking clementine, and I was like so turned off.
That's so gross.
That's so gross.
And I was like, get me the hell out of here. I bought broccoli and potatoes instead.
Wow, from clementines to broccoli.
And I got a bag of organic pretzels.
There you go.
Very good snack. Probably one of my favorite snacks, honestly, to munch on sometimes is like just like the regular mini pretzels, the hard ones, like Schneider's.
But Michael, I mean, could you?
Oh, that's it. Brian's back with it. Why you did it again? I can keep talking about Schneider's pretzels if you want, dude.
Nah.
All right, fine. But Michael, you play pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
Fun time. Come on.
I played in high school, they had like volleyball competitions in school and all this stuff.
But you had a better time golfing with us. It's not even a question. You don't even need to think about it.
The conversation.
Oh, it is the conversation.
No, it's not the conversation.
Because like right now, for instance,
you're talking about abolishing
a beautiful day like today should not be wasted on the pickleball court. Let me just tell you, okay? Go to Yankee Stadium, go get in a quick 9, even play the par 3, Michael, if you desire. You know what I mean? Like,
it's ridiculous.
Do that. Like, what are we talking about?
What if I don't want to? What if I want to play pickleball?
Go play it, you loser. Oh,
why does it make you so tight? What happened?
No. All it is
John McEnroe, first of all, terrible take.
Well, first of all, just that. No, I just hate things that I know are just fads and trends.
It's not a fad.
There's not.
It's been
no
around forever.
Staying power. There's no staying power. That's the point.
The staying power.
No.
Jay says he'd munch on some pretzels right now.
Dude, don't touch my fucking pretzels, Jay.
But Michael, can you at
Don't
least
you
give
touch
me
my
that,
pretzels.
like the whole like tournaments on ESPN?
No, it's
the
whack.
200.
No. Even when, I remember back in the day when they started airing bowling. No offense, honey. When they started airing bowling on television, I'm like, what the fudge? I was like, dude, ESPN is really stretching.
See, you guys are so pathetic, honestly. You're so closed, narrow-minded, and honestly, you're not.
I like the
you
form
both are not real men.
If I make
about
this
that?
into this glove right now, I am.
If you what?
Oh
So
my
close, Mike.
I couldn't see
god!
it. Oh, so you're not a real man.
It was
No,
so
you
close.
know what it is, and you guys have known me for a while now, where you just know this, and it's like I just like sticking with what's great, what works, what's the best. I don't need far less superior options. I mean, it's the end of the day. It's like I don't need to go to what is it called?
Jay said, "LOL." Me and Tony watched bowling this weekend.
Dude, PBA Masters was on Sunday.
Dude.
Him and I
But
watched
you know
it.
what, Tony?
Honestly, dude, it was really just me watching it because Jay was on his fucking phone the entire time, and I was getting really tight about it because I was like trying to talk to him about the tournament because it was really big like tournaments, like the Masters of PBA.
But you know what?
He said Anthony Stevenson is
I
the
can
GOAT.
respect that though, because bowling is sick.
Bowling is sick, dude. Anthony Stevenson won. Fucking prick from Nevada, dude. Two-handed bowler. Not about that, dude. Some guy from the Bronx got knocked out in the championship round, but it's all right, dude. You know,
It is
if I was there,
all right. But I have to say, I feel like today was fun in terms of we really like got into everything. you know?
Yeah.
And
From one of the major sports to pickleball.
yeah, to a loser sport.
what do
but-
you think about McEnroe? Come on, honestly, he's losing it a little bit. Dude.
No. Johnny Mac's a legend, and the problem is we don't have enough people like that playing tennis in the U.S. anymore. Who's the big U.S. tennis star? They aren't any. They don't grow on trees. They don't
No, they
make
don't.
them. Like
Wow,
Johnny Mac
Jay.
anymore.
What?
Jay said he's the better Anthony.
That's ridiculous because he's lying now. He's just trying to get a rise out of me because he said it even on Sunday. He's like, "Wow, this guy," because he was agreeing with me with two-handed bowling. He's like, "Wow, this guy brings a shame to the name."
What I wanted to ask you though, Tony. What do we got on tap for screen time?
On tap, dude, coming up at
Dude, a
noon.
lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, dude. A lot of news to go through. We're reviewing this movie called The King, which Jay should be calling in for. Manny's in studio as well. We're gonna talk about that. The Dune 2 trailer, Blue Beetle trailer, live action Moana coming up, dude, as well as a Harry
With the girl from
Potter
Pussycat
series
Dolls in
Harry
it.
Potter series.
for HBO Max. So
The
think
woman
about
from
that,
Pussycat Dolls in Moana.
dude. I mean, think about you like Harry Potter. No, Wizards can't do it. Well, think about Harry Potter on HBO when there's like probably a shit ton of nudity now too.
Tony was saying wandage going in places.
It's Yankee season.
Sex spells.
I just don't know if I have time for Harry Potter, but I know you guys are
Harry
the
Potter
best at
pickleball
this
right
stuff.
now. Do it. Harry Potter pickleball. What do you got?
Harry Potter.
Oh,
Nice.
Pickleball is
Yes.
sweet.
Hell yeah.
Like play a real sport.
Dude,
Would
I
you,
take-
would you rather
I-
watch Harry Potter than play a sport?
First of all,
Oh.
Yeah.
you just
That's
fucked him
important.
right there.
I am not putting 1 ounce of thought and effort into pickleball. All right,
Yeah.
How about pickleball or mini golf?
mini golf.
Hmm.
I mean, what type of question is that, Tony? I mean,
Wizards
obviously,
are a fad,
mean,
Jay
What
Bird.
do you say?
Wizards are a fad.
Yeah,
but
dude.
no, with that stuff too, the Harry Potter series, like you know what I mean. That's your niche, I guess you could say. In addition to sports, you guys are so good at it. So I really
And also
encourage-
we'll be talking about Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy are easily ready to return in Shrek 5. It's confirmed.
There you go.
Wow,
but I
dude.
really encourage everybody to hang on for screen time. About 35 minutes from now,
Give or take.
they will be bringing it to you guys, and they are the best in the business. There's no doubt about that. But I really would like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. Checking out the archives on our YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume. All of our archives, all of our episodes of Screen Time, of Sportsport, of last night's Gaming Corner, of The Dream is Free, of
The
all
newest
the vlogs,
vlog.
the newest vlogs in Vermont. You definitely want to check that out and be on the lookout for a Yankee Stadium vlog coming to
Oh
you
my gosh.
sooner rather than later. And speaking of the Yankees, let's go Yankees. We want everybody to enjoy screen time. Enjoy your day, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.